conference, I should say, takes place in a long tradition of cooperation between the Schuman Center and the Law Department here at the EUI about institutional reform of the European Union. For many years, the focus of those efforts was on treaty reform. And it started, in fact, in the late 90s, involving, in fact, people like Roland Bieber here, Jean-Victor Louis, who have been here at the EUI for several activities already in the 90s, to talk about what to do with the European treaties, reorganization of the treaties, simplification of the treaties, and so on. So there's been a number of activities throughout the years. And this one, you could say, is a continuation of that long tradition, except that, as Josep Borrell said, we now have a treaty, and we're stuck with that treaty for a long time. So there's no need, I think, to speculate anymore for the coming years on treaty revision or on reorganizing the treaties. We have the treaties that we have today, and so the focus that we have in front of us is to think about institutional change and reform without treaty change. That is to say, to see how the European institutions can develop on the basis of the existing treaties through piecemeal developments. And the framework for this reflection in the EUI is the UDO, which was presented to you by Josep Borrell, this European Union Democracy Observatory, and more particularly the part dealing with institutional change and reform. And so we are very grateful, Paolo and I, to Alexander Drexel, who is the director of UDO, who will be speaker this morning, for giving generous financial support to allow us to organize today's workshop. The President said it's the right time to discuss this question of the institutional implementation of the Lisbon Treaty. And it's true, but not for academics, because academics would want to wait a little bit longer and to see what is going to happen and then start discussing and criticizing it. That's normally what we academics do. What we do here is something else, because what we have here is a confrontation between some academics and practitioners. That is to say, people who work in Brussels and who are involved, actually, in the implementation of the Lisbon Treaty's provisions as regards the institutional functioning. So it's the right time in the sense that it's the right time to have this early meeting between practitioners and some academics to reflect on what is taking place right now, actually. What is going to happen also in the coming months in a number of areas in which the Lisbon Treaty, following up on the constitutional treaty, has introduced institutional innovations, institutional reforms, and now, of course, we come down to the details. We come down to the question, how is this going to work? How do we have to organize these different innovations contained in the Lisbon Treaty? So I think this is a fascinating topic with a number of subtopics that are present in the program of the coming day.